Hello everyone, welcome back to In My Shed. I'm BC. The steamy rotten Saturday, boy, it's going to rain after lunch, so I'll be scooting away a little bit early, I think. Got a few things to talk about today. First up, fall on my sword. Did a wonderful job of parting that off and made a video on it last weekend. When I faced it off, I thought, geez, that's a little bit hard to drill. And I think I made it out of 4140. And as it's going to be welded into the structure up here, I don't think it's really usable. It's going to be very hard to drill and ream after it's been welded. So I'll throw it in the bin and I'll scrounge out a bit of black low carbon steel and make another piece. Call out to all you mechanical types out there. I'm going to start on some project boilers, and to do that I need a 1.5 inch BSPP pipe coupler, full length 6000 psi. That's why the tap's out to remind me of the size. And so far I can only find 3000 psi couplers, so it's either find the couplers or change the drawing, one or the other. So if anybody knows where I might get the thicker wall couplers, please let me know. And that's for parallel thread, not taper thread. Another item that's come in this weekend, I sell Bordeaux Anular cutters, and this is obviously one I've supplied to a customer, and I'll bring you in close to have a look. It's wearing the land very, very quickly, just back from the cutting edge, and I don't know why. The cutter doesn't look to be overheated at all. The teeth haven't failed, but the cutter was jamming in the hole. Now I don't know the full story, whether it was getting crowded in chips or whether his shaft is going down cockeyed. He might have had the gibs all the way one way at the top and all the way at the bottom on the other side, and the cutter's actually coming down on a couple of degree angle. I've had that one or two times in the past, and it's okay in 3 or 4 mil material, but when you start to make a 1 inch deep cut, the cutter jams and usually it explodes. So this cutter has survived quite well. But we'll hang it up in an arbor, bring you in close, have a look at it, and it's got that horrible alternate angle grind on it. He's asked me to regrind it to my fashion, so I'll do quite a wide gullet and then resharpen it to the my usual spec. Okay, I'll swing you around now and show you that car parting tool I used last weekend. That's about the only thing I didn't do, was give you a look at this wonderful new tool. Okay, I'll swing you around. And here's my wonderful parting tool, and I found out my problem not getting through to the centre wasn't having the tool on incorrect centre height. It was just the fact that the tool isn't far enough forward in the tool holder. I ran out of cross-slide travel. So I haven't seen this style before. I bought it with just one socketed cap screw holding the blade in from the front. Man, it is a beauty. I've shied away from buying one of these for 30 years because I just don't do that much parting. I cut quite a lot of my material, and yes, I know that's an extra operation, but the power hacksaw runs by itself while I'm doing other work. And laid the dollars out. As I said, this will cost me $1 a cut for the rest of my life, but very, very impressed with the performance. I'll just move it a little bit to the left in the tool holder. And by the way, that's a tool holder that I built from solid. I did a series on that using the shaper and milling machine. Quite a lot involved in building these. It's not worth making one or two. If you've got half a dozen to build and the billet steel comes at the right price, well, then it's a good proposition. But back to the parting tool, not only does it cut with ease in 4140 that I thought was black biled, there's very little noise. So I'll say yes, 10 points for that one, Mr. Iscar. Okay, let's get looking at this annular cutter. Back again with that cutter, mounted up on the tool and cutter grinder, and I'm a little bit staggered about what I'm finding here. It's not going to be a case of just regrind the cutter and send it back. I'm getting the rep. This thing's done 1 or 2 holes, and the amount of forward taper is absolutely staggering. I can't understand it. Now I've got the flute as much in line with the axis of the cutter grinder as I can get it, and that way we can measure along a flute sort of, but it'll be outstanding when you see the effect. Okay, we go up to the top of the land, and this is marked out in hundredths of a millimetre, so it's just over 12. Now I'll crank it in a fair bit. have a look at that. There's 0.5 millimetre of taper on the front of that cutter. That is something that I would not have done. It doesn't look like it. It's just a little bit of damage. I'll take it over to the bench and put the light on it a little bit better and you can see for yourself, but that is a staggering amount. No wonder it was jamming in the hole. Okay, I'll remove over to the bench and bring you back in. And here we have a bit of a close-up. As you can see, the first 5 millimetres or so of the land is very, very worn. It's more pronounced than I would have thought. 0.5 millimetre is substantial. That's a mil on the diameter. So the cutter would really tend to jam in the hole. I haven't seen it before. There's no burrs on the cutter, no sign of overheating that he's run it too fast. Can't explain. As I say in the MIG welding videos, get the wrap. I'll call Steve on Monday and have a talk to him about it. Okay, let's move on to something else. Back again, here's my monstrosity of a workpiece clamp working. It always keeps my feet up on the tip of my toes. It's just one little slip of the clamp and the blade broke and everything crashes. But so far so good. I think it'll cut this, but the next piece will be more difficult. It's just going to be a shorter piece. Not so much to clamp onto, but I'm hoping to get 2 good pink clamps on the back of it. I can tighten it right there. That seems to be working quite good. Okay, bye for now. Please like and subscribe if I can't get any more videos out. Bye for now. Hello again. I've disconnected the external microphone to try and keep the basic noise level down. But there's more material hanging off the plate than there is behind being clamped. I've got 2 toe clamps on there to try and make sure, but I'm very lucky the hydraulic ground feed on this has got a very, very fine adjustment. It's only cutting a little bit of each stroke, but cross your fingers, it'll get there in the end.